my name is Molly and today we're here to talk about Riverdale Season 2, Episode 6. So, Episode 6, this was the drag racing episode. It was interesting. A lot of stuff went down, we found out a few things got repaired. I think it was okay. It wasn't like amazing, but it wasn't bad. Definitely a lot less frustrating than last week, but still frustrating to me. That's really all I'm gonna say. Go watch the episode, then come back and we can talk about it. But I'm gonna say goodbye to you now because no spoilers, so goodbye! Alright, let's discuss. So the episode opens and Tony comes out of Jughead's room wearing just Jug's shirt, and I was like, oh hell no. They did actually sleep together, which is good, but I was very mad when we saw that. Throughout the entire episode we have this arc running that has to do with Cheryl's mom, which is interesting because we really don't get to see much of Cheryl's mom. At the beginning of the episode she's a huge, major bitch. She is terrible. I was so mad at her. She refuses to help Cheryl. She's just a bitch to her. She's still defending her dad, who was a drug dealer and killed her own son. It's just bad. There is a scene later on in the episode where Cheryl is just like, care about me more. And I was just like, oh, Cheryl. Like, I love Cheryl as a character, and so I just felt really, really bad for her, and I really hope her mom comes around. And eventually she did come around in the episode. She ends up throwing the check for her silence into the fire and tells Cheryl everything Cheryl wants to know, which was very helpful because it helped us find the Sugar Man. So that was good. I was very happy with the way that story ended, and I'm hoping that that kind of repairs Cheryl and her mom's relationship a little bit more because they're all each other has now, and I think it's really important that they have a relationship. Jumping back to Jug and Tony, they're at Pop's, and I was like, oh no. Like, I know that's the only place in Riverdale, but one, isn't that on the north side? So like, why would Tony stoop to that level to go to the north side? Because she hates north side so much. Whatever. But yeah, so they go to Pop's, and then she's like, oh, I'm not gonna be anybody's rebound anyway. I'm more into girls anyway, so it's fine. And like, you know, I knew she was gonna be a bisexual character. They had announced that, or there had been theories about that beforehand. That'll be interesting to see how her story plays out, and I'm glad that she kind of took a step back and was like, I'm not gonna be anybody's rebound. I'm not gonna take advantage of you. Like, just, you know, you still love Betty, obviously. I'm just gonna move on. I'm kind of glad that that's over now. I'm fine with them being friends. They can be friends all they want, but she needs to stop being a bitch to Betty. That's my only issue. Jumping to the Cooper household, the parents are all having a meeting because all the children had a party and did Jingle Jangle. Alice is so proud that Betty didn't do drugs. She keeps pointing it out over and over again. I was like, oh, Alice. Then Veronica's throwing shade at Betty, and it's just like a mess. But there's also a funny line where Kevin's like, wait, hashtag Bughead is no more, and no one told me. Kevin, you've been ignoring Betty, so I'm not really sure who would tell you because nobody knows except for Betty and Archie. And the Black Hood. The kids, to save their own asses, end up telling the mayor about all the drugs going on at Southside and how Jingle Jangle's like the main thing there. And so Archie finds out that this is happening, and he's like, I have to go save Jug because they're just arresting everybody in the school, especially the servants. So he goes and he tries to save Jug, and Jug is being like really annoying about it. He just seemed like really ungrateful that Archie tried to save him, but like Archie was helping him. He was getting him out of there. Like, would Jug have rather been arrested? Like, I'm confused. Kevin and Veronica are walking down the hallway, and Betty goes up to them and like tries to talk to Veronica, and Kevin is like going off on Betty, and Veronica's like, no, Kevin, like, she's not worth it, and she walks away. And I was like, I know that Veronica doesn't know any better. She thinks Betty was just being a bitch, but like, I feel really bad. Like, poor Betty, she did this to save her life, and now she's just being shunned. Going back to Archie and Jug, Jughead is really mad at Archie. Like I said before, I don't really get why, but whatever. He's getting really mad, and he's like, you had my friends arrested, and I was like, whoa. The serpents are your friends now? Like, they're still, like, I get that you're a serpent now, but they're still building pipe bombs, still want to kill Archie, still attacked people in the streets. Like, I get that, you know, some of this was provoked and all, but they still did it. You didn't like the serpents, you did this out of necessity, so now all of a sudden it's like, I have to save them? Like, I was kind of like, whoa, Doug, you need to calm down. I like that Betty went to Cheryl about the Sugar Man, and I kind of like that they were working together. Like, they didn't do much together, but I kind of liked it. and I like their friendship. I think it's very interesting. We go to Pops and Betty ends up telling Veronica about what's going on and why she said what she did and how she doesn't really believe it and how like the Black Hood is forcing her to do all this stuff. And Veronica's just kind of like, cool, I'm in, I'll help you find him. She doesn't really show much understanding for what Betty had to do. She's not like, oh my god, I'm so sorry, like you had to go through that, like I'm sorry I treated you like that, like I didn't know, but you don't deserve that, you were just trying to save me. Like she didn't seem very affected by what Betty was telling her. She was just kind of like, alright, let's go find this guy. And I was kind of like, but like Betty is so emotionally distraught right now. She had to break up with Jughead, she had to break up with you, she's being dissed by everybody, and she's being called by this maniac like 3 times a day. Like I would think that as her best friend you would try to be a little bit more understanding, but after all that is said, I am happy that Betty did tell Veronica because now we don't have to have that drama involved in it and we can work together to solve whatever's going on. Archie and Jughead decide to go to FP, which is really exciting. I like FP, I'm glad that we got to saw him, and FP tells them to challenge the other gang, I forget what they're called, to a drag race. Why they're doing a drag race, I don't know, but whatever. But it was nice to see FP. Jumping back to the Veronica and Betty team up, they go to get drugs from Southside and they do the whole drug deal thing. They get caught and so they get taken to where Jug and Archie already are, and they're both like, they're so shocked to see the other pair there, and it's really funny. And then Veronica's like going off about how he's sexist and racist and like all this stuff, and I was like, yes, you go, V. Then Jughead decides to risk everything. He decides to just, you know, screw it, I'm going big or go home, and he just, you can have everything, just, I'll beat you in the car race. Okay, Jug. Whatever you think is right, I guess. I don't know at this point. We go to Pops and Cheryl is there and Nick walks in. No, it's like, oh my god. He goes over to Cheryl and he starts berating her and is horrible to her. And I was just sitting there like, that son of a bitch. I hate that Cheryl had to put up with that. I hate Nick with all of my being. Jumping to a happier scene, well, I guess it's not really that happy, but like jumping to a scene that involves a couple I actually like. We go to the auto shop and Jughead and Betty are both there. Betty's in her cute little outfit with her overalls and her bun, and she is talking to Jughead, and it's just really, really cute. And she's like, I promise, like, I'm gonna explain everything to you, like, you just need to give me time, I can't explain it yet. And I was like, Jug, just listen to her, like, there's a reason that she didn't just break up with you, like, it's okay. And later there's a scene right before they do the race, and Betty is like, I never stopped loving you, like, you have to know that. Jug's just like, you're an Enigma, Cooper, and I was like, it's coming back, guys! Veronica and Archie are laying in Archie's bed, and Veronica is concerned about Archie. She's worried. And what I really didn't understand is why Archie is in the car in the first place. Why is he there? What does it matter? I don't really know the rules of drag racing, so I guess maybe you have to have a second person in the car. But, like, why is there a passenger? Because you're racing, so, like, you don't need somebody else in the car. I don't know. So we go to the race and the whole group is there and Kevin is like, oh my god, there's so many hot guys here. And I was just like, oh, Kevin. When we go to start the race, Tony walks over and Cheryl's like, honey, I was born for this. And she takes it and she starts the race and Tony's just kind of like, what? And it was just really great. And I was like, yes, you go, Cheryl, you go, girl. They're doing the race and Archie's like, alright, that's it, we're stopping. And Jug gets really mad, but then we find out Archie called the cops and the other gang gets arrested. Jug is so mad at him for that. I feel like it's gonna cause issues in the future, but at the same time, like, I feel like he shouldn't have been as pissed off as he was, because he didn't lose the land. I mean, maybe once they get out of jail, he will lose the land because he forfeited the rules, or maybe he'll be threatened. Like, I'm not really sure what's going on. So I'm not really sure how I felt about that. Like, I wasn't horribly mad at Archie, but it also is going to cause problems in the future, so I don't know. Betty's on the phone with the Black Hood, and she's like, you know what? This is my game now. And you're next. And I was like, yes, B, you take control. You go, girl. I was so proud of her. We find out that the Sugar Man is that Southside High teacher, the, like, one that Jug was talking about the newspaper with. Like, it's him. And I was just like, whoa. Like, I wasn't expecting it to be him, because he honestly just kind of, like, slipped to the back of my mind. I was like, he's not that important. And, like, it wasn't that heartbreaking. I was just kind of like, oh, he's the Sugar Man? Like, okay. I didn't really care. In all honesty, I really don't care about much that goes on at Southside High. But yeah, so I wasn't like devastated, but it was just kind of a like, oh, I forgot about you. Look at that. Towards the end of the episode, I think it's like the second to last scene, we find out Bughead got back together. And I am so pissed. Not because they got back together. I've been hoping for that since they broke up. Since before that, because I knew they were gonna break up. But I'm kind of upset because we didn't get to see them get back together. They just told us. They were like, yeah, and we're back together. And I was like, no! I was supposed to see that scene. You're supposed to show me, not tell me. Like, I want to see that. I wanted to see the reunion kiss, and I wanted to see Jughead be like, oh my god, I'm so sorry, like, I didn't realize. You know, like, I want to see that. And I didn't get to see it, and I'm really upset. So the episode ends with the Black Hood going to the jail and shooting the Sugar Man. I'm not devastated that the guy died. I mean, it's horrible that anybody dies, but, you know, I wasn't that like, oh my god, he's dead. So that's it for this episode talk, guys. Those were my thoughts on the episode. Again, very sad that we didn't get to see Bughead get back together. Really upsetting. If you guys are interested, I'll have all my other previous episode talks linked down below so you guys can watch those if you haven't yet. I will also have all the other episode talks I do for other shows also linked down below so you can check those out as well. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I try to upload a video every week. If you like my videos, then subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye!